Smoke in my eyes, soot in my hair, cinders in my shoes. I'm watching the needle falling away and sending the great blues. Well, we're running late in the sorry state on 8215. She's overdue.
Right, we're back with another video on the pa2. Today we are going to try and get it going, or somewhat going. So, first we get our oil. So we oil all the linkages, make sure they're all nice and lean through. Have the throttle linkage done, choke linkage all oiled. Put the oil up there actually as well. Stop it from wearing down as much. Magneto wants a bit of oil going down it. A little oiling point. There we are. Right. Let's check the fuel's on. Fuel is on. We have fuel down at the carb. Yes, we do. Shut that valve. Take the starting handle cover off. Put that down. Starting handle should go on at some point. There we are. Right. Give it a whine. Nothing. So, the only thing that I can fault with this engine is you've got to have lots and lots of arms. But I'll choke it out somehow. Have that down there. It's not ideal, but it's aim at. So we are getting compression. We are getting ignition. Try choking the engine again. See what that does. Decompressor. Some speed. Choke on. Right. I don't really know what to say to that, apart from the fact that it's just popping. Unless that's not enough fuel, or is it too much fuel getting to the car? Right, I've turned it out half a turn. See what happens. Compressor. Have I got these on backwards? That could be one of the many issues. Press her up, choke on. No, they're not on backwards. Right. I don't actually know. We've got spark. Wonder if we're firing on both cylinders. Take that one off. Check the engine. Compressor first. Oh, so got it in a different one. Let's see whether that causes this one to spark. Compression's pretty good on this. Right, now try it on the other one. Oh yeah. Try this one. See what this one is doing that. Oh, you're pouring out petrol. So unless it's flooded. Right, let me get my tools and I'll be back in a second. Right, I'm back with a few tools. Yeah, we're going to see if fuel is getting to both these cylinders. Right. Could be flooded, I don't know. Yeah, fuel's getting to them. Do I still spark though on that cylinder? Press her up. Right, I'll set that one back to the one it was in. On the distributor. Right, it's back in. So no spark on this one. So we get a spark on the other H2 lead. I'll take the plug out of that one as well. Compressor. Ah, no spark again. Right, I suppose best take this Magneto off again and see what's cracking off. I'll put you back on once the mag's off. Right, we're back. It's a bit darker than normal. Well, it's not darker than normal, it's darker than what it was when I was last filming. So, yeah, the Magneto had no spark. The Magneto had no spark, so I've whizzed the Magneto down to my mates. I've cursed that Magneto. That thing is a pain to get going. It shocked me many times, putting it back together, testing it. And, well, the mag's back in the shed now, so I think we're going to bolt it back on, I reckon. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. Got the old storm lantern lit to see where I'm going on push bike. So yeah, I'll come back and we'll be in the shed putting the Magneto back on. Right, we're back. I've just moved the Peta back, well, to where I can work on it. If you can hear a noise, it's just the heater going. So, the Magneto. I'll show you once I've got this top cowling off, because I need to take the cowlings off to see where the pistons are. Oh, it's got to be like -3 outside or something, I'm sure it is. Because as a little test to see how cold it is, I poured some water out onto it dry. It was a fair amount to get, about a good 3 inch of water. It's now solidly frozen, and we're only in Derbyshire, so I dread to think what it's like in other places. Right, so the petter. It's probably best to get tools before I sat down, right? But yeah, before the Magneto was creating no spark, and the Magneto is this little bit of kit here. It's a Wyco Series A with the I think they're called a retard or something. No, recoil, sorry, not a retard. A retard is when you retard the spark, so it fires after top dead centre, not before. So it's a bit easier to start. That's also what this does. So it's a recoil spark, so when you're turning it slowly, it spins the Magneto over faster. And because you're also turning and charging that spring, it's moving the piston along a bit more. So you're also retarding it at the same time. Right, I say, let's get a few of these bits and pieces off. And let's get to work on the pa2. So, the starter cover comes off, and the big whopper of a handle goes on, if I can get it on. I'm a bit cramped in this little shed, but hey, it's nice and easy to get warm. Now let's turn over. That's the decompressor here that I'm lifting. If I drop it, it's next to impossible to turn over. So if I lift the compressor, spin it over a touch, drop it. Oh, she's got some compression, she has. Right, enough waffle. Let's get this mag on. Now, by memory, I can only be 180 degrees out on this because of how the mag is set up and how you bolt the mag on. So, tools that I need for this job are a flat blade screwdriver. I need a certain spanner that fits them bolts, which I believe a 13mm fit them last time. Double check that. I like to take a bolt with me to the spanners, so it's easier than reaching down all the time. So take a bolt with you, and that isn't a 13, it's more like a 14. Or, I don't know what that side is actually. Quarter-inch Whitworth. So, you also want the heads off. I don't really like taking the heads off, but was it a 14 that did it last time? I don't know. I'll sort the heads off once the cowlings are off. So the way I've set the engine up to take the cowlings off is it never had these bolts that I've put on it. So, let's get set down. I'm sat on a 12-volt car battery. So yeah, proper caveman in it. So there's the first bolt. Where's my little ice cream tub of parts? Oh, all the way up there. Yeah, that's my luck. Right, all them can go in there. Ice cream tub of parts, and the mag bolts. Right, so there's one of the cowling screws. Now, if you don't know what I've used as cowling screws, I've I've got a load of old Zenith carburettor parts, and the screws that hold the top and the bottom half of the carb together fit perfectly for these cowling screws. Granted, they are a bit long, but they get the job done. And this back one here is supposed to have a short screw, so if you can see that I've put 2 bolts on there so it clamps down. Right, there we are, cowling off. Now I wanted to keep this as a, well, it's like an oily rag finish, if that makes sense. So, spark plugs are loose in it anyway, because I had the spark plugs out last time. I will take the extra step, and if I've got a bit of Scotch-Brite somewhere, I will clean the insides of the heads off, clean the insides of the bores, so it's an extra job not to put on the list. Right, I'll do one head and then I'll take the other one off camera, because in fact I'll do them both off camera. All it is taking nuts off, heads off, and I'll put you back on when the heads are back, well, when the heads are fully off and checked. Right, I'll put you back on, guys, but simple fact being is I may as well film it, because why not, because there's not many videos on these engines and I'd like to get some videos about this engine out and about, so I've just had about 5 minutes to think whether or not to film. And I've had a quick flick through YouTube as of now, and the only videos on these that I can find is of a yellow one running that's similar to this, but instead of the manifold going out forwards, their manifold went out back without the pepper pot silencer. And then there was an old grey one on a trailer, which it looked like a marine engine, in that like marine grey blue. There was another one as well that was a smaller variant to this, that had the 2 pa2 carbs. No, manifold, sorry, not carbs. But it would have shared that these engines, the pa2 ones, the pa2s, the pa1s, and the Ferguson TE20 all share the same carburettor. I don't know of any other vehicles that share this style carburettor. If anyone else knows what other carburettors the 24T is put in, please let me know, because I find it quite interesting as to how many engines or vehicles that are actually in them. Right, let's take the washers off of that head quite quickly. The washer went down there, yeah. Right, there's the state of that head. Now, do I have Scotch-Brite is the next question. Nope, but I've got a back end of a glove. So let's give this thing a wipe up. Clean the mating surfaces. It doesn't look as though it's had all too much work, since new actually. This engine's all been mechanically sound. Yeah, that's the stuck valve. Well, that was the stuck valve. Let's see if it's stuck now. Nope. Don't know whether you can see that, but this here valve here, the one going up now, was the stuck one. It's now working absolutely smoothly. Right, so you've got exhaust, intake, compression. Now then, that's when I want one of these cylinders to fire. Now then, let's have a gander at the mag. I want this one here to be firing on the long lead. Let's see whether I can multitask on this. I've got to check there's still spark and also time the engine. I need a bigger flat blade. I'll still keep that one out though. Chisel is close enough. Slot it in the mag. Still spark. Right, line that back a touch. See where that is. Right, that should be flat about flat. So let's wind that way, a touch more, and there we are. In theory, this Magneto should slot straight on. And we can line it up. There we are. Alright, so she's not wanting to line her. So what I normally do here now is I turn this till vertical, or vertically in line with these two, with the top of this plate here and the bottom of the plate. There's a little rectangular shaft, and I have the short ends vertical and the long ends horizontal. Well, short ends up here like that, and the long ends like that, side by side. And then if I, it's got to be all the way, got to turn the engine over. If I had that like that as well, it would have if I took the bolt off of the end on this, wouldn't it? Or the nut, sorry. Right. And now, slot it straight on in theory. Get a turn, tap, turn, let it slot in. Right. Right, I must fly about. Get back to where it was. Exhaust, intake, compression, and ignition about there. So let's see what that is. I've never worked on a stationary engine with a distributor. In fact, I've never had an engine with a Magneto distributor. This should be this one. There we are. Right. So that one, can't really see the slot in there. It's a half moon. Right, so the flat part on that, sideways, sideways, I think. Right. Just that way, just that way. Not a fan of doing this at all. I need to see which way everything goes. Right, spark plug. Oh, hello. Should be a spark plug on the floor now without a cap. There it is. Now I can grab it. There we are. Back in. Right, put its plug on. I need like a little light of some sort, and I do have a light. It's inside. Give me a sec, I'll be back. Right, I do have a little light bulb. I don't know whether or not it's going to work to see inside there, but right, it does work. Right, let's see if my little poking screwdriver will set that straight for us now. Ah, so it's that coupler there. It wants moving about. Right. So with a flat, I'd call that flat. What are we? That flat. So let's keep that light dangled down there so I can see what I'm doing. And let's carefully slide that on. Right, I'll put you back on once the Magneto's on, because this is taking too long. Right, in theory when I come back the Magneto should be on. Right, I'm back. This has got to be the worst engine to put a Magneto on. I've had to take the Magneto off its cradle, put the cradle on first, and I'll try and show you. Right, so I've had to take this cradle off here to put the cradle on first, because there are like two dog teeth in there that have to intermesh, and when you're trying to mesh it on with the Magneto cradle on, you're doing it blind. So I've had to take the Magneto off the cradle after attempting about 6 or 7 times with the cradle on. Eventually I took the Magneto off, and I did it first try with the Magneto off the cradle. So I tried it, saw where the spark plug was sparking. I was 180 degrees out like I thought I would be, because it's Sod's law. Turned it 180 degrees, back on now, and we are sparking in the right position. So we're going to get the heads on. Let's see if we can get it popping in the shed, if mother doesn't wake up, and the neighbours obviously. But anyway, yeah, let's get this head bolted on. Ugh. Put you back there, right. I had to take the air filter off because, well, it's all down there. So let's get a bit of my tissue that I was using. Take it up. That's the click. That click there is the impulse. I did put a bit of oil in this piston just so I wasn't spinning it over dry. And by a bit I mean I've coated it good so it'll clean it up a bit as well. Use a glove to grab the last bit. I don't think this engine has seen much work in its life because, well, look, you can see the piston on camera. Look how clean it is. I've not even touched that with Scotch-Brite. Right, let's get this head. Check the head, mating surface. Grab a tiny bit of oil, put it around the seams, just so if there's any leaks I can visibly see where the leaks are and see if I need a new copper gasket. So that's that one's head back on. Right, so there was a stud. It's got the washer on it. Let's go around putting the washers on. It's very important that you put the head washers on, else you risk fracturing the head, as I figured out with my pa2. Luckily I had a spare head lying about. Is that everyone with a washer? Washer. One washer away from completion. So if I put 2 washers on one. I've put 2 washers on one stud. Taking this out is going to be fun. Just grab my little pokey proddy thing. Separate the washers. There we are, that goes on that one. Nice, lovely and easy. Right, time for the head nuts. I'm sure these are nuts. I get confused. I'm sure nuts are these and bolts are the shafted ones. Let's tighten these down. You obviously got to tighten these up in a star pattern, starting from as central as you can. Yeah. One thing that I like you working on these old machines is nothing's ever seized. Every bolt on this engine that I've come to, it's never been stuck. But the tightest bolts on this engine are the head bolts, but that's for a good reason. I'll check the other heads nuts as well to make sure that they're all nice and tight. That's the other bolt for the Magneto cradle that I need to get on still. But yeah, this thing might be going to the Nottingham Heritage Transport Centre show. Quite like. This is just nice and calm. Sat by yourself. Well, talking to yourself when... people must think, as they're walking by past my shed, must think I'm insane, you know. Because I'm sitting here, talking to myself, even when the camera's not on. Because it's part of my autism, what makes me talk to myself. So, as I'm just sat here now, I'm just talking about what I would talk about normally when I'm working on engines. So that's how, right, let's tighten these up. So I like to start on the closer to, so get them tight. Poor man's torque wrench is when it's tight and you can't move it no more. Right, let's go in a clockwise rotation. That's tight. That's tight. That one. So there's this one. This one. And that one. So that's on nice and tight. Oh yeah, let's check the other one. Do the same again. Tight. 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 Oh, lost the socket. Tight. Tight. Oh, socket again. You tight. Oh, a bit loose. Glad to check this. Very loose. Right, so the heads are now all nice and tight on this. Let's give it a wind over very quickly. We'll see whether or not you can see the sparking on the plug. If I've possibly set it up. Trying to think now where I can set this up so you can see. Can the camera see the plug? If I set it up about there. So, lights off. And you should see a flash. well, I can't even see a flash on that one. We're plugged in. Plugged in. Let's try this one. Can I get a flash on this one? If I've just put this Magneto on it and it's conked out now. Nope, not conked out. However, I do need to set the gap on that again. Swap that plug over for its original. Over there. This one plugged in. Let's see, do I have spark on that cylinder? Yep. Right, they're both sparking. Right, let's see whether or not I can show you. Nearly lost that. Right, so the spark's going to appear around about there. Light back off on the start handle. Just see a little flash. There's a lot of the light on. So, we've gotten another step closer to getting her running. Now at the start of this video she was just going pop, 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 pop. Then I took the mag off and it just decided not to work because I thought the timing was out. Should have the timing bang on right now. So, the more rubbery HT lead goes to this cylinder, so I'll dangle that one over there. The thicker HT lead, now I'm try and get these HT leads away from that exhaust. So, run it behind the manifold, up and in between the intake manifold, just like so. Dangle that one away. Right, let's try and get the big one through. It's going to be interesting. Clean those threads up first, actually. I'll put them in. Right. How on earth am I going to do this? Through there. Angle it up. And it's not going to go, so rotate it a bit more, maybe. And come on. I was talking to it like it's a dog. Not wanting to go. No. Well, I'll just run that somewhere else, I reckon. Wouldn't hurt it, would it? Try and feed it up through this way. Up there. Put that there, maybe. Ah! Well, it's fed up now. It's gone the right way now. So, there's the two plugs on. Well, plug leads. Wrap that one around there because that one has a tendency to spring back out. Right, the big cowling. First off, I'll just wipe those threads off. There's one. There's two. Right, now we're just doing reverse of what we did at the start of the video. Which basically just means putting the cowling on. I could do really with a radio in here, but I don't know whether YouTube would like the copyright on it. If I had copyright music. If anyone knows anything, if I can have a radio playing whilst filming, let me know. Because working in silence ain't really my thing. I prefer having a bit of music on. There's that bolt going on nicely. Oh, slipped. Nice and tight, but not too tight that it rips through. Doing it nice, lovely and flat. Right, spark plugs. There's one. Let's see what happens with one. Probably try the other one because I'm pulling up on compression instead of pushing down, so the engine will lift. I'll spin it over dead slow so that it doesn't start but does possibly pop, maybe? I don't know, we'll soon find out. Right, see whether I can find something that'll hold the choke open for me. No, choke shut, sorry. Nope. I don't think there is anything that actually holds this choke open. I think you just hope and pray on it. Right, anyway, let's try that. Oh, that fired. I can smell that. Yeah, that definitely fired. A bit of smoke came out the exhaust. So, in theory, tomorrow when I come back from college, should be able to turn the handle, wind it over, and then you can see a little bit of smoke is escaping. So, the pa2 is wakening up from its 10-year coma, we'll say. Can't say she's alive just yet, but what I can say is she's slowly getting there. There's a heartbeat on the monitor. Not a proper one, probably got a slight little limp, but signs of life. I'm afraid I'm going to have to call it there though tonight, because, well, what time are we on actually? If and when my phone will tell me. It's 20 to 10, so it is pitch black outside, and the neighbours came out proper effing and jeffing at me last time, and that was only at 5 in the afternoon. So I don't know, I can never win with my neighbours. They always tell me, do it in the afternoon, not this late. I do it in the afternoon and they still complain. So there is the pa2. Absolutely wonderful machine. The only thing that I don't like doing on it is the Magneto. Have a final look around on it. There's the massive exhaust. Isn't it lovely? So yeah, so we can get it going tomorrow. Anyway, that's it for today's video. We'll see what we can do tomorrow. Video on that might be out on Saturday actually. I'll link that. I'll make it starting its own video, and we'll see what it does from that. We may even get an angry neighbour come out, you never know, it could be a bonus actually. Anyway, like, subscribe and share obviously, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.